Hi everyone, it's me, Teddi The Drag Queen, back once again with another makeup tutorial today. However, I'm also going to give you, for Pride Month, a very special History of Drag presentation as well. So, let's get started, shall we? So, for this makeup tutorial, you only need 3 or 4 makeup items. And we'll put the links to all of those in the description as well. And these can be from any brand and any from any drugstore, whatever. You don't need to spend lots and lots of money, and you probably got a lot of them already. But obviously, as you can see, I'm in full drag today, apart from one section. Can you guess what section that is? It is, of course, my lips. So we're going to do a lip tutorial today and how I do my lips as well. So, very simple. The first thing you need is a good, let me do the whole makeup thing, a very good lip pencil. I tend to go for the Kylie lip pencil because I buy their lip kits, and their lip kits I found are very, very good indeed. The next thing you're also going to need is a base lipstick like this. This is the e.l.f. Lipstick. It's very cheap. You can get it from Boots. I think it's about £5. And that is to go on. Hi, Irene. That is to go on your, once you've done your lip liner. And then this is an additional step you don't need to have, but have another lipstick in a lighter colour to do maybe a bit of an ombre lip. And I'll talk about that when we get there. And then finally, you'll need a lip gloss or plumper or whatever to finish off that look. So, first things first, we're going to line our lips, okay? And I'm going to do it in the camera, so bear with me, my dolls. It needs to be sharp so you can do it, and I'm going to get quite close to the camera so I can see. So you just want to take this here, and you just, from the corner, just sort of line your lip, okay? It's really weird because I'm doing it back to front. So you just want to sort of line your lip like that, if you can see it. There we go. I'm just going to grab my phone. Hold on. Just so I can do it the right way. So you're just wanting to really line that lip where the crease of your lip is, really, if you know what I mean. And then the top bit is exactly the same. So I slightly overdraw my lips, ever so slightly, to give myself a bit of a bigger lip line. So I go over the top and down, and then over the top. Now, as you can see, they're not symmetrical. So then you've got to go back in. And really, we're trying to make a love heart. And there we have it. We have lined our lips. Now, again, you can touch up wherever you want to touch up. But essentially, that's it for lip lining. Ideally, you want it in a darker colour or a contrasting colour than your main lipstick, so it really pops out. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to grab your lipstick in whatever colour you want. I tend to go for a nude because I love a nude lipstick. But you can do it in any colour you want. And then you're going to, in the gaps, you're going to put the lipstick on, okay? And you're really wanting to fill in any space you can. And there you go. As you can see, that looks quite nice. And it looks like it's got a little ombre effect already going on. Now, this next step is optional, okay? You can also use lip brushes if you want to with a lipstick. It's completely up to you. This next step is optional if you want to. So grab an even lighter shade of lipstick. And you can, if you so wish, put the lighter shade of lipstick just in the middle here. Now, you can't really see it on the camera because it's that light. But you've then done a full ombre lip in there as well. I'm just trying to see if you can see it, but I don't think you can. So yes, you can do that before you do the next step, which is either a lip plumper or a lip gloss. So you then take your lip plumper or lip gloss, and then you just combine all those elements together. And just like any other section of makeup, really, it just makes it all sort of smushy and everything else in one place. And there you have it, your lip done completely. And that's how I do my lips for when I go and do drag out in the world. So that's been our whistle-stop tour on how to do lips. Hopefully you'll be able to master that and come back and show me how you do your lips later on. You can also do a very simplified version without the lip liner at all. You can just put your lipstick on, the lighter one on, the lighter lipstick on top, and then the gloss as well. You don't have to line your lips. However, as you can see from mine, it just gives it that nice finished bit of lips in general. Thank you very much, Andrea. So I'm now going to give you a history of where drag came from and why it's called drag in the first place and where the first drag icons were. So there's a little bit of there's several theories about how drag started. Over here, obviously, we have a rich theatre industry and theatre background, and that's where a lot of our drag started here in the UK, with the likes of the Shakespearean times. So obviously back then, women were not allowed to perform in Shakespeare, as people deemed it, especially the king, deemed it would be too emotional for women to deal with the subjects that the playwrights were playing, hence why no women were allowed, which is obviously completely incorrect, as some of the best performers in the world are female or female born. We have and from that we have then found the word drag from it. So the theory behind it was, or why they called the male performers, or assigned male at birth performers, if they were put in dresses and given the female roles, as it were, they were put in dresses that would drag along the floor, and therefore it would be called drag. Other places as well would slightly say different. They said that drag comes from, the acronym comes from dressed realistically as a girl. So D-R-A-G is another way of where drag came from as well. But the first ever drag queen on record was a slave and prisoner in the name of William Dorsey Swan. And they were the house mother, as we would call them in this day and age, of the House of Swan. Between the 1880s and the 1890s, they would throw lavish parties, and they would dress up in female clothing. They would dress up in quite fantastic pieces, and they would have balls, drag balls, and that would be entertainment and for the community that was there as well. So the first original drag queen was William Dorsey Swan. We then, over here, I think one of the most prolific of drag queens or drag entertainers, obviously, was Danny LaRue. Danny LaRue is supposedly, well, actually probably is, to be fair, the most extravagant and the most exquisite drag performer that the UK has ever had. The gowns, the jewelry, the costuming, all was high end, and they did all of the working men's clubs up and down the country. They weren't also a drag entertainer. They also did acting as their male selves as well, but they're more famous for being known as Danny LaRue. As we move swiftly on from Danny LaRue, obviously we have the icon that is, and we lost them earlier this year, Lily Savage, or Paul O'Grady, as many of you will know them, if you didn't know Lily Savage. Lily Savage probably was one of the first ever drag entertainers to really break it into the mainstream, coming on to, especially in Britain, British TV screens on the 80s and 90s, which included, you know, Blankety Blank and all the pantomimes and everything else that they did. They were truly one of the most prolific queens, and that we sadly lost earlier this year. So we then move on from Lily Savage into probably the most famous drag queen of all time, which is obviously RuPaul. RuPaul became famous in the 1990s and 1980s, doing, as they called, genderqueer and gender bending into the drag queen that you see today on RuPaul's Drag Race. They are responsible for over, I believe it's 27 franchises of the show. Obviously, we have RuPaul's Drag Race UK. We also have the US version, Canada, Thailand, and the like. Many, many, many places. France, Belgium, Mexico. And RuPaul is probably one of the most pop art people of the time. They are absolutely everywhere. So if you don't know who they are, where have you been living? And with RuPaul's Drag Race, obviously, comes a plethora of other queens. Which includes the like of Bianca Del Rio, Jinx Monsoon, Bob the Drag Queen, Peppermint, and then some over here, Cheddar Gorgeous, the Vivian, Lawrence Chaney, Danny Beard. All are exceptional drag queens, all have won their different franchises of Drag Race, all apart from Peppermint. She has not won her franchise of RuPaul's Drag Race. So all of the others were winners, apart, and also Cheddar Gorgeous as well. They didn't win theirs either. But all exceptional drag queens, and all have shown some incredible talent and pushed the drag envelope forward. And that's really what RuPaul's Drag Race is all about. It's about moving drag forward to see who the next big drag superstar is. And you can see all of those queens touring around here, in America, in the UK, all over the world. They are there as well. And without all of those, I wouldn't have been able to be who I am. So a big thank you to all of those queens that have come before me, so I've been able to be the queen that I am, and here today on the Royal Voluntary Service as well, to teach you how to do a lip and to give you some history on drag performers. Drag in general, or drag itself, is an expression of gender identity. So whether that be masculine, whether that be feminine, whether that be no gender at all, whether you be a piece of artwork, or whether you be a singing comedy camp person like I am, or whether you be a dancer, drag is for everybody. Drag is all valid. And is one of the most liberating and self-expressing things you can do. And really, to be honest with you, everything is also drag. So, for instance, if you put on a nice dress or get dressed up, that is drag, because you are exaggerating what you are. If you put hair extensions in, or even if you, like me, pop a wig on your head and go out in a full wig and a full beat, you are doing drag, my dolls. So that is all drag, and all drag is valid. While I have you here and while I'm on, I'm just going to let you know, if you're in or around Peterborough, we are doing Peterborough Pride next Saturday on June 24th. I'm the chairperson of that, and I'll be on the main stage doing that as well. So if you do want to come along to see us, then that will be absolutely amazing. It's 1 till 7 at the Green Backyard. So if anybody's got any questions, please fire them away at me. If not, my dolls, that has been our little live for today. We've done a full, I'll just recap again, we've done a full lip today. So you need your lip liner, your lipstick, and your lip gloss for that. Or you can have 2 lipsticks and a lip gloss, how you want to do it if you want to be more bougie. And we've gone through the history of drag as well, starting from William Dorsey Swan all the way to myself here today. Again, if you want to find out any more information on Peterborough Pride or your local prides, please make sure you go and check them out on Facebook, Instagram. And if you have got any more questions for the Royal Voluntary Service, please make sure to put them in and we'll answer them to the best of our ability. All right, my dolls, thank you so much for this wonderful day. And I shall see you very soon. Bye-bye.